Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all of these topics, subjects, looking for opportunities to invest in and sharing those opportunities with everyone in the community. We still have that special going on, special coupon code special is what a special is the coupon code. It's 50% off the first month, and you get a larger discount on the yearly membership if you want to sign up for the yearly membership. And that's what we've got going on right now. Let's dive in. Let's take a look, see what's going on today. DXY continuing to rip. Very, very strong to the upside. Now, are we going to hit something like up here where we do some sort of double top? Very well could. But right now, in the short term, things are looking strong for the dollar on its march higher. So, what generally drives the dollar higher is the monetary backing of that currency is stronger than the other monetary backings of the other currencies. So, what they're doing with monetary policies is stronger under the dollar than other currencies at this moment. The 2 year yield, we are staying quite high. It has been resilient. We haven't rolled over yet. We very well could. And it does look like eventually that we could roll over, come back down into this box here. How can this happen? So if inflation remains in the system, people expect yields to remain high. If the economy weakens, they expect yields to go low. And the Fed is stuck between those two things. They're stuck between inflation, which I think they want. They're also stuck between the economy. And if the economy goes, then this puts a huge question mark. Economy lower, inflation higher. What do we do? I don't know. This is a tough one to be in a pickle here. The 10-year yield's been moving on up. We were down today, but we are sitting on top of a pattern. This still looks good to go higher, in my opinion, at this current moment. The 30 years doing the exact same thing. Top of a pattern, looking strong, momentum is still up. TYX TNX ratio slightly higher. What that means is that the 10-year fell a little bit more than the 30-year. And the way that I view this is could this be a bottom here where we start to come on up? If that comes on up where the 10-year drops more than the 30-year and it comes on up like this, that's really good for precious metals. Really, really good. Bond prices are up a teeny bit because yields were down slightly. It is basing out to some degree. Now, here's the question. Are we going to move on up? Or is this a continuation pattern, which is an inverted flag pattern lower? If it goes lower, that means your yields continue to rise. If we're trying to bottom and turn, that means that yields are going to drop. What would I guess here? I think we're going lower. I think that's what it looks like. It looks like we've got a consolidation, a breakout, a retest, and then could potentially go lower. Gold up $31 an ounce. I think this looks good. I don't think it looks that bad. Gold's looking strong. This is the weekly candlestick here. You obviously have a tighter um, grouping here if you take the closings of the weekly. But I don't think this looks bad. I think we have a shot of breaking out of here at some point after this kind of three hump consolidation probably occurs. So I think it still looks good. Silver up 2.5%, bouncing off this support. Got a little bit of a squeeze going on there into this corner here that we could easily break out of. Bigger picture view, and that's what I focus on. Up, 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 up is what I see. It looks really good to go higher on the longer, bigger term view. Platinum up 1.82%. We're back within the pattern. This looks really good. It's a big bullish engulfing pattern. I would be a buyer here. Self. And then palladium also trying to break out of this falling wedge. 1, 2, 3. Let's break. We're right at support too, so this is a good spot to be looking as well for palladium. I know this is the out of cycle, I'll call it metal historically. Generally, we see platinum outperform and silver outperform palladium during these commodity bull markets. GDX up quite a bit. Quite a bit. So we had a bullish engulfing yesterday, and we have follow through today. It looks good. GDXJ doing the same exact thing. Bullish engulfing yesterday. That's when I said it. Like we could be turning here to go higher. And then SILJ up quite a bit, 5.75% or so. Could we see more upside? Definitely could. We definitely could in the minors. XE to gold ratio. We're coming back up from this big support level. And guys, this is probably like the buy of a century here. Big, big, big move. So this is a big move lower to just ultra cheap prices of gold and silver mining companies to gold. Now, everyone, their mom, their grandma, their relatives, everyone hates gold mining. Everyone. Even E.B. Tucker hates gold mining. Everyone hates gold mining right now. Is it the best time to buy? I don't know, but I'd be dipping a toe in. Gold and silver miners versus gold here. This is probably as cheap as you're going to get here. It looks like we've got, this type of lows coming up there. So I don't know. I think it looks good. And I think we've got a long runway ahead of us for gold and silver mining companies to outperform. Crude oil, we are up 1.92% despite that absolutely ridiculously strong dollar. We are breaking through this resistance support level that we got through yesterday. We had a little bit of follow through. We could get a little bit of back and forth action here because we're coming up against resistance here and support underneath us. We could do a little bit of pinballing before we break out. I mean, we could cut it, samurai sword style right through it. That is possible, but we could do some pinballing. So get ready if we get some resistance up here. TTF gas continuing higher, up 1.64%. Bigger picture view, we back out even more here. This looks like we could get a little bit of a run going on here. So what I look for is this guy here. What this is a big double bottom. So if you zoom out like this, get a big double bottom like this, it's coming on up, and we're going to play with resistance here, trying to break out of this. So that's probably what's going to happen with TTF nat gas over time. Natural gas in America also slightly higher. We've peeled off some momentum, and we're at that resistance of this upper channel. We got to bust through that thing. It takes some time, patience. We've got XOP, yeah, you know me. We are up against resistance coming up that way. We have cleared this resistance here today to the upside, and we could get a little bit of a sideways action for a little bit before heading higher, but that's looking better. OIH also up 1.8%. Good, a little better. It's not the most bullish of setups through here, but at least it's marching higher. Longer term, we are still a little bit on the bearish side. This is broken downward. We'll see what happens here and what kind of follow through we get in that big question mark there. Newcastle coal futures down slightly, ever so slightly. And this does have downward momentum. We haven't reversed that momentum yet. And we very well could do something like this. That is in the cards. It's possible. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Crown Physical Uranium Trust up 3.67%. Look at that big move there. Looking good, feeling good. You should be feeling good. All right, so monthly candlestick. Let's go weekly here. So weekly candlesticks, big weekly candlestick there. The monthly looks really good with the big bullish engulfing if we close the month strong. Remember, this is a big flag pattern. Those break upward. So this is a bullish formation. Let me get this rising wedge out of here. The bullish formation, we had a little bit of a consolidation here. We have a big bullish engulfing on the monthly if we close the month strong. And I think we could break and do a little bit of jiggy with it to the upside. This looks really good. And again, we had a resistance here, and we got to break through all that. So just patience, guys, it's coming. Uranium futures pricing up 2.17%. This could be a false breakdown to the slingshot higher. Energy, crude oil and stuff, and natural gas, it looks good. I don't see why uranium can't run with the wolves here. It looks pretty good. URA up 5%, bouncing off this support zone that we have going back. So that looks good. We could see a potential move higher here if we get some follow through. Don't be afraid if we get a little bloody nose tomorrow, a little profit taking day. Perfectly normal. Uranium up 7%. So what can we glean from this? We came on down. We chopped sideways here. News came out about Amoco and Kazatomprom and some problems with one of their joint ventures or something going on. Big move higher, money rotating in. Some people say, is this the Cigar Lake moment where we just start to rip? It could be. Maybe that's the news that they want to hang their hat on. But let's see what happens. Don't forget the little bloody nose that might show up tomorrow. It's no big deal. URNJ doing the same exact thing. Looking good. Copper slightly higher, but we still look a little bit on the weak side. Now, is this a legit breakdown? We'll see. We'll see. I have my doubts. My doubts. A lot of the times you get a bottom here, you get like a double bottom for a candlestick like that, and then it runs. So patience. We got the structure, 1, 2, 3, and my trend line may not be perfect. And you know, I've been seeing a lot of false breakdowns all over the place here. So this could be a false breakdown, gets everybody short, and then it squeezes it to the upside. So I remain positive on copper until I see some real strong follow through, make me think otherwise. TOPX also up 1%, still above a gaggle of support, so it still looks good. Iron ore sideways, but again, it still looks good. We're just sitting here squeezing from this high to this low here. We came on down. Now we're squeezing in a corner here, and eventually I think we'll pop higher. Aluminum still stuck in this resistance channel, or in the channel, I should say, resistance. Nickel slightly lower, and we're just holding on at the moment. Still a little bit downside pressure there with this big selling pressure candlestick there. Moving sideways, the agribusiness ETF back within the pattern. We still have some downside momentum in Moo. Emerging markets doesn't like the strong dollar, still going sideways. Dollar falls, this will go up, but falling yet. We've got KRE also pulling on back. I don't know if the dollar necessarily impacts this, but yields I think do, and we did. Yields were basically flat, so a little bit of selling pressure there. Pan up a little bit. Looks like we're breaking a downtrend line to the upside, so that looks good for TAN. Lithium down 1.6%. Hasn't gotten its feet yet. I don't know if that's because of interest rates or the dollar strength, but that's been pulling on back in the short term. REMX up 1%, and this is pulled back in the short term too. Momentum is still to the downside, has not changed. Baltic Dry Index got a little bit of a squeeze going on, and it's trying to pop out of that downward wedge. I do think this has the possibility of turning on up, so that's the Baltic Dry Index. XHB home builders. We need to see a material move in interest rates for home builders, I think, to really take off. But right now, down, rising wedge, broken to the downside with some pretty strong selling pressure. Got another bearish engulfing pattern where we could head lower in the short term for home builders. Russell 2000, the bearish setup there. We entered this down, it consolidates, and we could easily go lower here if the sellers want to push it. S&P 500, again, this is a bearish setup. Big selling pressure, fighting its way on up. came back down to its lows, and we'll see if it holds or if it breaks. We break here, we are creating a new low. If that occurs, NASDAQ, same thing. Big selling pressure move, struggled to come back up. We're coming back and we're right at support, and that would be a break to a newer low. So higher highs, higher lows, then you could create a new low, which is a reversal pattern. Your reversal pattern, a lot of people see it very easy when it's a bottom, very hard for a top. Here's your ultimate high, snap back, come back up. Here's a low, it's a lower high, and then you're going to create a lower low here if we break. That could be a reversal. That goes exactly for the S&P 500 too. Here's your high, your lower high, then you create a lower low, and that's your reversal. Trader Vic 1, 2, 3. We don't have a broken downtrend, but we've got a broken, I'll say, like mega rising wedge of some. SMCI, we are chopping sideways, and I think this will continue head lower or sideways. NVIDIA up 3%, trying to save everybody. It's a bullish formation at the moment. Nice bearish engulfing yesterday. Bulls and the bears are battling it out. I think the insiders are just offloading all their shares to retail, but this still could go higher. It still has a decent circle there, big buying pressure, kind of a flag pattern that could go higher. Bitcoin still looking okay. It's holding on. There's your support. We're dancing around support, and we are coming off that support. You can say we've broken. We draw this in a little bit better. Little squeeze up there that we've broken to the upside. So that looks good. Ethereum also looking better today, up 2.8%. Not too bad, and we're still above support. MicroStrategy up 3.6%. This one's got a little bit more downside momentum behind it, though, fortunately. So, and I don't know. This is usually, when I see moves like this, these big moves, and this is going all the way back to 2003. This is where your bull market, big move there. Your bull market started here for a lot of different companies, and it's been going on up. I think we're getting close to the end. I think this current bull market started here and will end somewhere 2025. I don't know, something like that. So we could see some stronger selling pressure. Depends how Bitcoin performs, I guess. And then the VIX is up 3.3%. It is hanging on sideways for the. There's that sideways action. That's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. We've got a question and answer session coming up on Saturday, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. You can ask whatever you want. You can send me questions beforehand if you'd like. I'm going to answer. I'll probably go over 2025 strategies, position sizing, portfolio allocation. There's some people asking questions about potentially swapping from some companies to another and what I would do, and I'll share what I can do and what I have done. So we'll talk about positioning for what I see in the markets here. But that's what I've got for today, guys. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.